Hello everyone. Today we're going to start a new Illustrator project. It should be fun to do. And what we're going to do is create a floor plan of your house. I'd like to show you a couple that were done by some of my former students. This one's pretty cool. Has a living room and a dining room and a kitchen and steps leading up to a second floor. You don't have to do more than one floor, but I do want you to do at least 3 rooms. At least 3 rooms. And I'm going to zoom in on this so that you can see some of the details that this student went to create this beautiful floor plan. And it includes a dining room with a table that's set for 4. A great kitchen. Look at that. Frying pan, oven, sink. Oh, and a little TV and a toaster. The living room is pretty cool too. It's got couple of chairs, a sofa, and keep in mind that this is all pretty simple stuff. These are just basic shapes. Coffee table with a remote. Look at that. Let's zoom in on that remote. Cool. What do you think they did to make all these buttons? I'll bet you they just made one, and then I'll bet you they duplicated it. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Here's another one. This one was never finished, but it's still quite good. Living room and dining room are all together in one room. Well, no, I'm sorry, not living room. Kitchen. Kitchen and dining room are all together. I love the sink. Cool. The oven, the range, and here's the bathroom. And look how easy it is to make things like a toilet. 2 shapes. 2 simple shapes. Oval, ellipse, and rectangle. He's got doors leading from one room to another. Dining room table set for 6. And look, a deck. Isn't that nice? Wooden deck off the dining room. I don't know what that was going to be. I guess a table and the countertops. Well, anyway, this will be fun and it should be easy. And in the process, we'll learn a couple of new things. One of the things I want to show you is something called a compound object. A compound object is simply an object with a hole in it. Let me send that to the back. This can be one room, and of course this can be the walls of that one room. Let me make this just a little bigger. Oh well. That's pretty good. Now, here's how you make a compound object. You select both, then you go up to Object, Compound Path, Make. Now, you don't really see any difference, but let me show you what just happened. I'll take this give it a fill of some color. And I'll send it to the back. And look what happens if I move it here. Oh! Oh, so you can see we created an object with a big hole in it. We can do it again. Just to show you, I'll make this one a circle. I'll select both the circle and the rectangle. Object, compound path, make. Boop. And if I bring this to the front, you can see right through the hole. Well, anyway, this will be one of our rooms. And I'll duplicate it. And I'll make one more room. And of course, this will have to be a compound shape. Select both, object, compound path, make. And now I'm going to move it up like so. Let me see if I can zoom in and get that a little better. Aha. Now, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to select all of these, and what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to get my Pathfinder, and I'm going to click right here to unify all the walls of all 3 rooms together. Look at that. Look at that. I likey that. Now it's one unified shape. And there's nothing in the middle because these are compound paths, so there's nothing in here, in here, in here. There's nothing. The only thing that you got are the walls. So I can't put a fill in here because there's nothing in there to fill. I could fill the wall, but why would you want to do that? See? But I'll leave it white. Let me show you another little trick with the Pathfinder. We need doors. We need doors in between these rooms, don't we? So I think I'm going to put a door right here. Watch how I do it. Watch how I do it. I'm going to make a rectangle right there. Right? I'm going to select everything. And now you're going to learn about this second button in the Pathfinder palette, which subtracts the front object from the back object. Watch what happens when I click on it. Oh! I have a doorway. I'll do the same thing here. I'm going to put a doorway right here. Select everything and subtract front from the back. Now I've got a couple of nice doors. I could make more. I'll make one more. How's that? This one will lead outside. Subtract front from the back. Cool. So now I've got my 3 rooms, and now all I've got to do is fill them with furniture. That shouldn't be hard, right? let's go back and see how these other people did it. Oh, okay. Yep. All right. So let's start. We'll make this our kitchen. And we'll make a counter. That'll be an L-shaped counter. And all we've got to do is select both counters. 1, 2, and unify them. We can put our refrigerator right there. We can put our oven right there. And we can put our sink right here. I think I'm going to make an oval sink. Let's zoom in, and I'll make the burners for my range top. This I don't think I should, well, I guess I'll do it this way. Well, let me think. Let me zoom in a little more and think about how I'm going to make that burner. This is called the line tool. It makes lines. Can you put a fill on a line? No, because a line has no interior. All you can do on a line is change the color of the stroke. Not bad. There we go. Now I better group that. Now I got a problem here because if I try to select the burner, all I do is move the oven. Well, that's okay. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to show you something that I hadn't planned on showing you. Did you know that you can use the part of your picture that's not on the paper, this area out here, to work in? It's called the artboard. And you can put things there and work on them. Let me move this over to the artboard. So I can grab this and group it. I'll bring that out to the artboard. And I think I'll bring my cabinets back in. Although I might have to move them out again. We'll see. One. Duplicate, duplicate, and there's my oven. And I'll group it. Object, group. Now I need to make a faucet for my sink. Oh, I think I'll do it in the artboard again. That way I don't have to touch anything in the actual construction that I'm making here. Let's see. That'll be the base. That'll be the faucet. And to make it a little more interesting, I'll rotate it. And we need a hot handle and a cold handle. And here's how I'm going to do that. And I'll get the good old Unify tool in the Pathfinder palette. Duplicate this. Rotate it. Put that there. Rotate this. Put it there. Okay. And group. And now I can bring it in and place it right where I want it. Ah, that looks great, huh? You know what? My sink needs a drain. There's my drain. Let me take this, and I'm going to shift click, and shift click, and I'm going to take all those objects that make the sink, and I'm going to group them. So, you get the idea, huh? Let's make a sofa in the living room. This will be our, you know what? Let's make a table for the dining room. And let's make place servings. Do that out here. Dish. Let's make it a fancy dish. Notice that I'm drawing from the center out. And we'll make napkin. Polygon tool. Ooh, we haven't used this yet either. I'm going to just select it and click out here. I'm not going to drag. I'm going to click. And I'm going to tell it I want 3 sides. Say OK. Oh, way too big. But that's all right. We can scale it down. Oh, good. Now, fork, knife, and spoon. Spoon will be easy. Unify it. Rotate it. Knife should be easy. Unify it, rotate it, And lastly, I guess, let me scale this down a little bit. It's too fat. Ah ha ha ha, that's better. Fork. Rectangle. Now I'm going to have to zoom in on this. Could I be tricky and do it again as a triangle? 3. All right, now I'm going to have to scale that down because it came out way too big. But I think this will be very cool. Duplicate. Duplicate. And unify. Should be bigger than the spoon, yeah? Let me make this napkin a little bigger. Ah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oops. I should have grouped that, shouldn't I? Group. Object. Group. Now my plate's grouped. See? Now I'll group the whole setting. Bring it in to my dining room table. Let me make it just a little smaller. Duplicate it. Rotate it. Duplicate it. Rotate it. Duplicate it. Rotate it. And I like that. I'm very happy with that. I guess I need to group the whole thing. Object, group. And I'll make a couple of simple chairs. Start with a rectangle, and then another rectangle on top. And I'll group it. Object, group. I'm going to send it to the back. And I'm going to put it in place. Duplicate. 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 Now I've got all 3 of my chairs. All 4 of my chairs. In case you're wondering how I move that, I used my directional arrows on my keyboard. I can move things up, down, left, right. That sometimes helps when you're trying to get something in a precise position. All right, so there's my dining room. Now what'll this be? Living room? Let's make a simple sofa. Simple sofa. Send that to the back. Group. I think we need some pillows. Group. Do you like it on an angle like that? I'm not sure I do. We'll straighten it out. And then I can make a coffee table. And I can make a couple of chairs. No, I like it like that. Group. Rotate it so that it's facing the sofa. Duplicate it. Yeah, I like that. Now, of course, yours isn't going to look like mine, and you're going to have all the time to color it in. But see how easy this was? And we learned a couple of things. First, we learned about compound polygons. That's a compound polygon is a polygon with a hole in it. And then we learned about the subtract front from back button in the Pathfinder. We used the unify button a little more. We learned about the artboard, where we can do a lot of our work without interfering with what we've already done on the page. I usually do all of my work out in the artboard, and then I bring it in. Now this will be your project, and then we have another similar project before we start our cartoon, and that's to make, instead of a floor plan, we're going to make like a dollhouse view of our house. Let me show you a couple of those just so that you can start thinking about it. Here's one, and I love this one. Does that look a little bit familiar? That chair? Huh? And here's another one that I love. Even better than this one. Wow. 2 floors. Look at that. Bedroom, bathroom, dining room, kitchen, living room. Oh! And there's another familiar looking thing. Look at that. Look at that. Well, this isn't going to be worked on until you're done your floor plan. So let's get this floor plan done, and then start thinking about your dollhouse view. Notice in this dollhouse view, they must have used the Unify palette quite a bit. And they also used gradients to color in some things. Isn't that interesting? Look at that, a gradient. And I'll show you how to do that before we make this, before we start this project. You'll watch another movie and I'll teach you about gradients and how to make them. But in the meantime, here's your project. And of course, you're going to color it in just like this, just like that. Have fun. And good luck.